Of inquiry into the South African Revenue Service continues. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan has dismissed claims that SARS was already in a shambles when Tom Moyane was appointed its head in 2014. Gordhan testified yesterday, saying under his watch, SARS did not tolerate corruption, and by 2014 it was a world-class institution. The Commission is probing mismanagement and a series of resignations from the Revenue Service. Our business reporter Heidi Giokos joins us now from Pretoria this morning. Heidi, a very good morning to you, and I suppose we want to know more about what exactly happened yesterday.
So yesterday was the first day of the Commission of Inquiry into Tax Administration and Governance at SARS. This commission was, probed by President Cyril Ramaphosa to try and establish what is going on at SARS. And yesterday, Pravin Gordhan took to the stand. He was the first to take to the stand. And the reason for that was because Pravin was commissioner of SARS many years ago, from about 1999 to 2009. And he was asked by Judge Robert Nugent to explain the structures and systems that he put in place. And, Pravin explained yesterday that he built SARS to be, one of the world-class tax administrators. And, structures and systems were put in place to ensure that tax revenue collection is on par, and that there is no issues with tax collection, to make sure that there is no illicit money moving around. So he had a very lengthy presentation to explain the structures and systems that were in place and that worked perfectly, because when Tom Moyane came into SARS as commissioner in 2014, he immediately changed the structures and systems and said that they were not working for SARS, and they were not working for the type of country that we live in, which Pravin obviously dismissed and said, here is the evidence and here is the proof that this was all working and things were put in place and structures and systems were put in place which were working.
So day two, Heidi, who are we expecting to hear from today? What's expected to happen?
So day two, we have about 5 witnesses taking the stand. We have Barry Hoare, who will be who will be sitting for about 2 hours in front of the commission, and he was the chief operating officer. One of the big issues that the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is the massive staff reduction that happened at SARS when Tom Moyane came in 2014 up until March 2018. We've seen about SARS employed about 14,000 people, and currently they're employing about 12,600. And most of these resignations, have been from senior executives, very well experienced people at SARS who knew the systems, who knew how things were functioning. And one of the big issues that came out was the fact that why were these people resigning? Was it forced resignations, or was it just because the conditions at SARS were unbearable and they had no choice but to leave? So on the panel today will be about 5 ex-SARS employees who will be taking the stand and obviously discussing their conditions while working at SARS and what was actually going on. We are not sure what the commission is going to ask them, but surely questions around why they left, what conditions they were working under when Tom Moyane was commissioner.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much. That's our business reporter Heidi Giokos keeping an eye on that process for us. After the